guys, we have one last bit of news to cover today, and that is this. I've been fairly vocal on the show talking about my favorite television shows of all time. In order, they rank Frasier, favorite television show of all time. I love that show so much. Twilight Zone, the original, 1959, 5 seasons. Only 4 seasons if you decide not to count season 4, that's a whole other kettle of fish. Season 4, they went to the hour-long format instead. Third favorite television show of all time, Stranger Things. Fourth favorite television show of all time, Schitt's Creek. Hysterical. But let's go back to my number 3 spot for a second, shall we? Stranger Things. Finn Wolfhard, star of Stranger Things, was recently interviewed about the upcoming season that has yet to... it's a little ambiguous. Have they started filming yet? Are they about to start filming? I assume production is nigh at hand. But let's jump into the article here from MovieWeb. This is what Finn Wolfhard had to say about it when being interviewed. He said, "Every season it gets darker. Really, I will say with season 3, I was like, this is the darkest season that there'll ever be, like the exploding rats and everything. But really, season 4 so far, it's the darkest season there's ever been. Every year it gets amped up. Every year it gets funnier and darker and sadder and everything. Every year they amp it up." They even go so far as to say, from the producers on the film, I'll just say the global lockdown definitely massively delayed shooting and therefore the launch of our current season 4, date still to be announced. But it impacted very positively by allowing the Duffer Brothers, who were the creators of the show, for the first time ever to write the entire season before we shoot it and then have time to rewrite it in a way that they rarely had before. So the quality of these screenplays are exceptional, maybe even better than ever. Like I said, Stranger Things, third favorite television show of all time. I love the show. I love the feeling. I love the tone. I love the nostalgia that the show brings. The story is just fun. It's just fun. In fact, if you haven't seen it, I'm not going to give anything away, but the season 3 finale quite possibly is my favorite episode in that entire season. And all I'm going to say is, turn around, tell me what you see. It is glorious. I could not love the show even more if I tried. Dominica, have you seen Stranger Things seasons 1, 2, 3? Any of them at all? How does this tone strike you?
Yeah, I love Stranger Things. I have seen them all. Although I don't remember much about season 2. Sometimes I'm like, did I miss a season? But I'm pretty sure I watched them all.
You know what?
I love the style of it. I grew up in the 80s and 90s, so that whole feel of it's great to be able to watch that.
Dead on. It's dead on. You joke about not remembering if you've seen season 2 or not. I feel like that has kind of been the general idea, or rather the general feeling for a lot of people who watch Stranger Things. It's kind of unanimous that season 3 is the best season. I loved season 2. Not a lot of people loved season 2. A lot of people's complaints about season 2 was that it was kind of a rehash of season 1 in some ways. I like origin stories. Origin stories are fine, but what I really love is the next chapter. The first Avengers was great. I loved the first Avengers, but I really loved Age of Ultron. Iron Man 1, great movie. Fantastic movie, but I really liked Iron Man 2. It's like once you get the characters established in the world of which they live and the rules of this universe, and then we kind of get to see them go off on a separate adventure. That's what I really like. And so season 1 was just establishing everything. For me, season 2 was really kind of embracing this world and really getting to live in it for a little bit longer. And so I think that's where I come at some of these stories from a different perspective. Do you have a different take on that at all? Being a legit storyteller yourself.
No, I agree with that, like that assessment. I like origin stories too, but I also definitely like to be able to dig deeper into the characters. I I think for me with Stranger Things is more I don't remember the details of what happened in season 2. So when I read that article you sent me about the upcoming stuff, I was like, did I actually watch season 3, or is what I remember of the last season was that season 2?
Gotcha.
That's
Yeah.
more like where, because when you binge watch stuff, as you do with a lot of Netflix series, they kind of blend together sometimes. You don't remember what happened in
It
what
all blends
season.
together. Yeah, there's so much. It all
Yeah.
blends together. What are your thoughts about Finn Wolfhard and Steve Harrington? I can't remember the actor's name. Steve Harrington also kind of hearkened a lot of the comments from Finn Wolfhard himself and saying that, yeah, this is the darkest season yet. It For me, it doesn't seem surprising. Because with every season of television or with every sequel of a film, you want to heighten. Like, it's the trick is being able to tell the same kind, maybe not the same kind of a story, but like take the same characters and their beliefs and their modus operandi and whatever, and put them in different situations, which sometimes, hopefully, those different situations will amp up the drama. It will amp up pretty much like the comedy or whatever it is that you're doing, or maybe in my case, just take us on a different adventure. Once you get them established, let's just go off on a different adventure. What do you think about their comment saying that this is going to be the darkest season yet? Does this surprise you? Does this shock you? Does this get you more excited?
I think in context, like it makes a lot of sense to me. Most series, you have to have that escalation. It kind of makes me think of Supernatural in a way, how, that was only meant to be 5 seasons. It ended up being 15. And when they continued it after season 5, it was kind of a progression of like, where do we go to from here? How do we like ramp up from here? Like, how do you make the big bad of that season even worse in the next season, because that was pretty bad. So it's not that surprising that they're doing that with Stranger
So
Things.
let's pontificate for a second. Let's put our heads together proverbially, and where is this show gonna go? Because season one was all about the Demogorgon. Season 2 was kind of about the Demodogs. Season 3 we had the Mind Flayer, which kind of was like the beast that seemed to be controlling both the Demogorgon and the Demodogs. So we have the Mind Flayer, and they took down the Mind Flayer. What's the next chapter? Is there something controlling the Mind Flayer? Is there something? Or I would like to think that our gang is going to spend the majority of season 4 inside of the Upside Down, because they haven't gone there yet. Thoughts?
As possible. My thought as you were talking just now was along the lines of, is it possible for the Mind Flayer to gain more control and like start controlling people like taking over their bodies and things?
Kind of like what it did with oh shoot, Max's brother. I can't think of his name. That guy. The guy from the Power Rangers. That guy. It's possible. It's possible. I don't know. Dominica, final thoughts. Final thoughts about season 4, Stranger Things.
You know, when I read that article and they talked about they were able to write the entire season before filming, my thought was, you didn't do that before. Like in my mind,
I know.
If you're shooting Netflix,
Yeah.
do you write the whole thing in advance before shooting the whole thing? Like, I didn't know that they were shooting it like regular TV.
Yeah, same. So like, in that same thought, are you familiar? You've seen the movie Die Hard, right? You've seen Die Hard.
It's been quite a long time, but yes.
So I have only recently learned that they were still writing the movie as they were filming it. We like to go back and quote Die Hard and say, it's the greatest action movie ever made. Yippee-ki-yay, right? We love to quote the movie. We love to talk about the movie. We love to say how incredible it is. But the studio and John McTiernan, the director, they had no idea how they were going to pull this off. At the time, Bruce Willis, the only thing he was ever known for was moonlighting. Like, he was the silly comedian. He was the comic actor. He was the comic relief. He wasn't an action star. I think he tried to do an action movie just before Die Hard, and it failed so miserably. And then, for whatever reason, John McTiernan is like, no, I want Bruce Willis. And the 20th Century Fox is like, oh, you're crazy, John McTiernan. John McTiernan's like, nope, this is going to happen. And like, they didn't even know the ending. They had no idea how this movie was going to unfold because they were writing and then filming and then writing and then filming. That blows my mind. That blows my mind that with such great television shows like Stranger Things or even films like Die Hard, that they're able to pull stuff off like this and just make it incredible.
Yeah. It blows me away.
Yeah.
It blows me away. But you know, we're improvisers, right?
I know. It's true, but hey, but we also know as improvisers, we know that's a rare treat. Like that is not the norm. That is the exception and not the rule. Anyway, guys, big question for you is, what do you think of Stranger Things season 4? Are you excited for it? Does the dark tone, like the darkest season yet? It doesn't. It excites me, but it also makes me think like, well, yeah. Like, how else are they going to top themselves? Of course it's going to be the darkest season yet. But what are your thoughts? Jump on down to the comment section below and let me know your thoughts. All right, guys. Hey, everybody. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, click like. If you really like this video, click subscribe. And if you really, really like this video, click share. Because that is exactly what Tony Stark's Iron Man would want you to do.